Peace and love, guys. Welcome back to another video from my series entitled um, Ascension 101. Um, as promised, I'm picking up from where I left off in the previous video. This here is going to be called The Healing Phase 1. This will be video number 3 in my Ascension 101 series. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, image that the sketch that I have for you right now basically is showing you how clogged and just how much junk that we have on us. I mean, if we just think about like natural nature and how we think about how things just occur in nature and how everything has a cycle, and we see this cycle in our reality. If you go out into the wilderness, you'll see that um, the the bird eats the worm, and the bear, eats the fish, and the fish eat the algae, and it's I don't know if that was a good example, but it's basically a cycle. So when you think about like the etheric world and what we can't perceive ourselves, um, it's the same thing. It's some sort of kingdom that is occurring that we're not aware of because we're in another dimension. Even though we're living within the same space, we're not necessarily living in within the same time, and we don't necessarily see um, all that is actually as it is. And basically, we are a part of that. If you think about the kingdom of just everything, we're a part of that, and it is things out here that are specifically here to flourish off of us, and we can't necessarily see them. I don't know, and maybe others have the same. Uh, I guess I could call it a gift because if it wasn't a gift, I wouldn't be able to share it with you guys. But some people are able to perceive beings and perceive the etheric type of entities that are out there. See, you can look at now some of the movies that are coming out. You see this thing, it's called this series on um, the Netflix that I find very interesting. It's called Stranger Things, and they talk about this parallel world within our world, and they call it the upside down. But it kind of touches bases on the same thing, and then we can't see the beings that are out there, but they're there. So this kind of encompasses what this whole idea of what I have here, as far as you're being infiltrated and you don't even know it. And the infiltration is just simply based on your level of vibration, and your level of vibration simply depends on you, literally. So let's talk about this image here. This image here, first of all, let's act if this image is like an apple, right? That has been sliced in half. So basically, what I'm saying is that this here is just like a hollow space that is inside of something, round. So it's just not like this I guess you could say like one dimension type uh idea. It's really more so just you're surrounded in all locations of just junk, and then uh, spirit has to come and make a pathway within the center of that in order to start filtering you out. So let's talk about some of the phenomenon that occurs once spirit starts to, and I say the word filtering like, so some stuff stays in, and some the stuff that doesn't need to be there goes out. So maybe that's why I'm talking about this, using the terminology filtering. But let's just change it to like just cleaning you out. You're getting your oil changed, right? It still need to be some sort of oil there so you can be lubricated and function. But you're the all the gulk and the stuff that could potentially cause the issue is gonna get cleaned out. Okay. So one of the most phenomenal things that I experienced initially. And this also occurred when this area here was locked up, but um, just to get an idea of the pathway that needs to be um, seen, I'll just leave it here. But what'll happen is I experience a phase where every time I would find myself settled down and like just not moving too much, I would feel a sensation of just like rods being sent like through me, just rods, just from any and all direction. And the first thing I thought about is that little diagram that they have, with that with the man, and it's like the what people see is like the Star of David or something. So I'm just thinking, oh my God, this is some type of Illuminati type thing. But in essence, it's common sense when you think about it, because if it's the stuff is just stuck here. So what spirit is trying to do is start to just break this up. So it's like a block. So they just throw these rods. I just call them rods because I don't know what they are. Maybe they're just you know divine spears. I don't know, but who knows? I don't know. But they are just put in you initially, and I didn't know what for, but I was just, I feel this from all angles. Not so much a feeling where it was painful, but a feeling that I just felt it, just being poked and just. But that's just spirit was trying to just get that stuff broken up. Think about it. When you go and you out there and you see people, construction workers breaking up concrete, they just jab holes in different areas before they can get it, and then where it can get to a point where they can just break it up and just remove it. This is that phase that is going on in this particular situation. Very clever. Very clever, I'm telling you. Very clever stuff. Um, so when this happens, of course, stuff really starts to move, and spirit is able to start breaking stuff up. So, in this particular case, you'll start to feel stuff coming through that channel that has been made. And what I've found is that it's very aggressive. I mean, I found myself one day in the room after just feeling so bothered by the energy, um, literally felt as though, spirit was like, you know what? No, sit down. And they just started sitting stuff. They just started sitting stuff. And I just felt like I was just being, you know, thrusted with so much right below my neck area. But then everything just started to come here, right? And then, slowly but surely, it'll start to channel up. Because all this kind of just feels hollow, but it'll start to channel up. But if you notice, think about it now, this area here is a bit thinner than the rest, right? Because it's your neck, right? So I cannot stress how important the throat chakra is. If you ask me, it's one of the most important one actually when you think about the filtering process. Because if you've seen my other videos, I've said that the chakra system is simply a defensive system, and it's also designed to turn and to break up some of this junk. And if it was working properly, like right now, we're just as mankind, we're just so cluttered right now. They just don't even work. But the ideal way is to have these spinning, so when stuff do, come and like, hey, you're spinning properly, and they're going about their business. So the throat chakra really come into play when you're being cleansed out, and you really need to meditate. Meditate on your throat chakra. Meditate on it. Meditate on it. That's all I can say, because you need to get that moving. Because when you get that, and let me tell you how I found this out. Well, Spirit told me. Now, I don't hear voices. I don't I do see entities, yes, I do see spirits, but I don't like hear voices. It's not like, yo, let me tell you something. It's not like a conversation. It's more so of a synchronicities. And I kept anytime I do anything or read anything spiritual or look up anything involving, Kundalini or anything, everything I would always point to the throat. There's always a subject about the throat. So I started meditating on that. Lo and behold, synchronicity now. The spirit gonna tell you what you need in some way. That's when this stuff started moving. And I'm gonna even go even a little further here. Now, when it starts moving, stuff still gets stuck, right? Because it's such a narrow place. Stuff gets so stuck. But you know what? And I might be the first person to say this now. So this is a real treat. Egyptian art, like I said, I'm always going to reference Egyptian art. The pharaohs, they have this false beard, right? That's so important that they always mention. Um, you kind of lost sight of this guy's overall head here. Let me try to see if I can kind of put it back there in the neck, shoulders. Now, this false beard, let me tell you what happens here. Spirit uses this area on your head, basically, to come through, and they start beating this stuff up that gets stuck here. So this is actually a very important pathway that spirit uses to start getting this stuff to because that's like I said, it's a hollow. Your throat really becomes more of a hollow area than the rest of your pathway, and they uses this area at under the chin, about right here, to come through and bust this stuff out, bust it out of your crown and up, so it can exit. It has to exit. Because remember, it has to exit at this point. It has to exit this way because at this point, remember, you are enclosed. So you have protection at this point. And like these these parasites that infiltrate us are everywhere. So spirit has to get real slick with providing a defense or a mechanism in order for it to not occur, to keep occurring. Because what's the point of clearing you out if they're gonna do it and it's just gonna keep coming back? So you're enclosed at this point, doing this cleaning process. So the exit to get this stuff out is going straight up, and it's going up through your crown and out. Okay? This is what I feel, people. So once again, that false beard, I believe, that you see on the pharaohs is when it happens. Okay? So let's keep moving on. Now, during this time, I will say that this is a very difficult time. This is a very difficult time because spirit is really working on you, like working on you, and you can't sleep. You're you're drained. You have no energy. I was sick. I was sick for months when I was going through this, and I'm gonna tell you, it's a tough time, and I really believe that this is what people call the dark night of the soul stage. And mind you, I had the ability to actually feel the ascension process, so I could honestly say this is what it is. Some people go through this ascension and they're getting all of this done now, and they don't feel it like this. That's why I think this is my purpose, actually, to say this is what's going on and this is why you're feeling this way. This is what my purpose is. So this is why I'm making these videos, so you know. So can you bear with them? It's a lot of work that needs to be done. So when you're feeling that way, you're feeling drained, and you just feel like you just got a lot of energy going on and you don't know why. It's a lot of work, people, to get done. And I'm sorry that this video is going to be long, but I just want to be as detailed as possible about this part because you need to understand that it is a task to get this stuff out of you. This is why you feel this way. But it's okay. It's okay. This is what's going on. You're being healed, okay? You're being healed. And let me tell you, the workers that are doing this, they're your ancestors. They are your family. You know what I'm saying? They are what we call light workers. And they surround you with so much love. And they want to better you and get you back right. So this is all love that's surrounding you when you're at this point. And you're just like guarded. Like it's not a game. Like they're just like, nah, kid. They see what I would call dark workers coming. Don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me. But like I said, I can see uh, spirits, especially at that phase in the morning time when I'm like half awake, half sleep still, and I'm really looking. I can really get a good look with my mind's eye. I see, and I will be honest. They don't look like us. They look different. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna think I'm tripping, but listen, I saw spirit in. And I'm gonna describe. I'm gonna get to another part of this, but I saw spirit like straight, like drop kick, crazy, yo. It was like I just like you see a little, you know what I'm saying, and you just saw it kind of like levitate and just like, just like kick this reptilian, like it just looked like a bunch of little um it just looked like this in my mind's eye. It was just something, and my little spirit that was levitating just straight drop kick your boy. Like I swear, I will never forget that. I was like, whoa, it's not a game out here in these streets, but he straight drop kicked him. I'm telling you, it's not a game. Anyway, what I was kind of digressing when I was explaining that is when you go, let me get something right quick. 'Cause I'm studying uh, the book of the dead, which is really the book of coming forth by day. But if you go to some of the artwork, right? Look at this. You go back to some of the artwork of these beings, right? That they have. You see this? Let me try and look at. You see this? This tail, this little tail here. It's so odd that so first it's like a bird. Like why does they have a tail? And it's other gods that they draw, and they have like tails. And I was like, that's so weird. But you know what? Especially uh, during pushing it, they push this stuff up. But especially like around like your head section, you know, you'll feel spirit. They little now, and I mean they may not be, we may be bigger than what we think we are, but they can infiltrate your. They're not infiltrating because it's like somebody's bad, but they're helping us. But they actually shoot. They'll shoot up. They'll shoot up and get and push stuff out. Like they just and you know what? You'll feel what I feel in my throat or in my face area. After I feel like a little string, like a little tail, and it has like a little fluff at the end of it. So they have tails. Yes. I feel something bigger, and then as it's leaving and exiting, I feel like something stringy. That seemed like a tail to me. Egyptian art people. But yeah, like I was just saying, and I'm not. This video is getting too long, but when you're going through that part and you feel that way, just remember, like it's you're healing, and like I said, it takes a lot of work to heal you, and But if you're going through this, first of all, let me go back to this picture and what I think this picture is. Okay? You know, Christians, we don't change it up, judging, you're gonna go to hell, this, that, and the third. But what I really think this picture represents, I think this picture represents the start and how you need to be initially as a soul. Like, I believe that, like, I had to go through some things initially to for spirit to even dwell and for spirit to even get to the point to say, okay, we're gonna help you and we're gonna save you from the feathers. First of all, I stopped eating meat. That's the main thing. Like, look, look at who they show saving you. First of all, animals and whatnot, and the Egyptians like documented that heavily, like the gods were animals and stuff like that. First of all, you stop eating meat, and you know what? You have to be a person of integrity. Like, have a conscience about stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying like I'm a saint or anything like that, but like, and then you have to be like spiritual already. Like, believe in the higher power. Like, you're not just out here chilling. Like, somebody made you, man. And like, be good to people. Treat people right. Do good deeds. Be a good person. And if that's the case, and they say in this particular image that your heart has to be light as a feather, like lighter than the feather. Well, how is that really possible? If you think about the actuality, no, they're talking about feathers, like the feathers that bind you. Feathers are look up the word feathers, and it's spelled Fetter. I think I spelled that right, but it's not like feather. The feathers. You get too many, they can bind you, and they keep you bound. But when you do good deeds, because when you follow Matt laws, you see Matt has a feather on her head, right? Matt is like of justice. So when you're not following Matt laws, you know what? Sticking. You get feathers. Somebody think badly about you, you get feathers. And eventually they be so much that they bind you and you low and your vibration gets low. And when your vibration get low, that's when parasites can come and infiltrate you and dwell on you. And that's the problem. That's why we are just so far and gone as a people. Because we're covered in feathers. And I know this for a fact because, like I said, I'm going to talk about this, the parasites that are on top. But why do I know these feathers exist? Because once you get all that stuff off, oh no, it doesn't stop there. Then you see the feathers. When they start removing these almost like knives that just pinned and stuck all in you. But they lower your vibration. The more you have, they lower your vibration. But of course, when your heart, right? When your heart outweighs that, and your heart outweighs the feathers, then of course your heart is going to be good, right? And that's what this image represents. And this is where the whole concept of Christianity comes, of talking about how good and bad, and if not, then you're going to hell. The devil's going to get you. This guy here, but this guy is simply almost covered in the things that I kind of displayed here. Especially that there. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of touch. But they're. So what happens when you start to lower your vibration, because you get so clogged up initially by the feathers at first, you lower your vibration, and then the parasites can dwell on you. When you're a high vibrational being, they can't dwell on you. They can. That your energy is too much. First of all, because your chakras are turning so fast, right? And you're vibrating high. And actually you'll vibrate high at the dimension that you'll be in, even though you're in this three-dimensional and four going to four now, you will vibrate so high, those type of parasite or dark workers don't even dwell within those particular dimensions. So you're protected, right? All right. I did a little too much today. But yeah, we'll pick up from where we left off. Oh my God, so much for 10 minutes. Peace and love.